Oh man, I'm looking a hot mess. Got hair sticking all out on the sides. I got to trim all that down. Need to trim the beard, everything. Oh man. Mm-mm-mm. All right. What's going on, party people? This your man Griff. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Mm, I'm tired. I'm tired. All right. So let me. hmm So what's going on, party people? Forgive me for not looking up. I'm trying to do a little something here. So what's going on with y'all? How y'all doing today? What's been going on with you? How's your month of July popping off? So far everything's been coming along pretty decent for me. Last month was wild. Very busy for me last month. So far this month has been busy. Um, Monday I had one, two, three, four, five, six yesterday, and then I had one, two today. I got one, two, three tomorrow. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I'm already at 14 for the week. Sorry, 15. 15 for the week. Whoo, what's going on? Feel free to drop any questions you got concerning the notary business, anything you're dealing with, all of that. I got a um, meeting at 9 o'clock, one-on-one meeting at 9 o'clock. So I gotta slide off and do that and everything. So and then let me just show y'all the link to book a one-on-one with me. It's a one-on-one meeting is in the description. So if you are interested in getting a one-on-one, got some questions, got some things to that you need to get dealt with or deal with, feel free to hit me up. Um, yeah, this is called Set More, where you can go. And like I said, the link is in the description and book a 30-minute call with me, phone call or a 30-minute Zoom call, either one, $10 and everything. So I've done about 21 of them. I'm not doing haven't done a whole lot, but the ones that I have done have been just awesome. And you can read the reviews of what people have shared about, the time with me and everything. And some people have booked multiple sessions with me. Some people have booked multiple sessions in the same day. So completely up to you. But if you got, questions, you need some help, um, this is it. This is it. So feel free to hit me up. And like I said, the link is in the description of this video, and I'll be more than happy to pop it with y'all. So, um, man, it's been, I'm not gonna lie, it's been wild. So a lot of people, and like I said, I know this is an impromptu, so I'm not expecting a whole lot of people to hop up here tonight. But if you hop up, okay, cool, and all that good stuff. So um let's talk numbers. Let's talk numbers. And I did this. If you saw me on TikTok a couple of days ago, you heard the numbers and stuff. So let me share with y'all the numbers. And unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to type them up and put them on screen. But I'll talk to y'all and share with you. And feel free to take notes and all of that good stuff. So last month, I did a total of 110 appointments. Okay. So I did a total of 110 appointments. Um, 53 for the first half of the month, first through the 15th, and then 57 for the last half, the 16th through the 31st. That encompassed general notary work, anything, anything dealing with notary, I did. the loan closings, you name it, did that. So 110. Out of that 110, 100 of them was specifically for loan closings. Okay, 100 was specifically for loan closings. Now, what I like for y'all to do is just type in the chat, and you might already know it if you've seen me talk about this on Instagram. I keep saying Instagram, on TikTok. So, out of the 100, how many you think was actually for orders of $100 or more? That's the question. How many do you think was for $100 or more? And feel free to drop it in there. There's no wrong answer. I mean, well, it might not be right, but there's no silly answer or dumb answer or what have you. But just think about it. 60. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's the highest one I've seen. Um, so 60 out of 100 are for $100 or more. That would be awesome, Marlene. That would be awesome. Anybody else? Anybody else? Take a guess. Out of 100 appointments that I did for loan closings, all right, she got 20%. Okay, so that would be 20. All right, good shot. So, and for those who just hopping in, I'm talking about the numbers that I did last month. Let me give a quick recap because we just got a couple of people slide in. Hey, what's going on? Everybody. So if you see me on Instagram, I keep saying Instagram, TikTok talking about this, you already know the numbers. But so last month, I'm gonna say it again real quick. I did 53 appointments at the beginning of the month for the 1st through the 15th, 57 for the last half, 16th through the 31st, total 110. Out of that 110, 100 of them was specifically loan closings. Okay. And I'm asking the question, out of the loan closings, 1 to 100, how many you think was $100 or more? Okay. And we got 20, we got 60, we got 70, which are high numbers. And with 20 is the lowest number, 67 is the highest. What I did for the month of July, I had 33 orders. Okay. 33 orders. 40 is the closest, but you went over. 20 is the closest being under. So I did 33 appointments. Okay. That was $100 or more. So, and if you got a chance to write these, the pen or pencil, write this stuff down. Again, I apologize. I didn't normally I put it up on a PowerPoint. So I had 4 areas that I did these numbers in. Okay. Snap docs, signature closers, signing order, and direct. Okay. 4 areas that I got my loan closings from: snap docs, signature closers, signing order, and then direct clients. So for snap docs, I had 18 orders of $100 or more. For signature closers, I had 1. For signing order, I had 8. And for direct clients, I had 6. Okay. So those are the orders that I had. Okay. $100 or more, which comes up to the 33, which comes out to basically 33% of what I did was $100 or more, which is a good percentage, in my opinion. For where I live at, that's a good percentage. Now, the numbers that I did from each one of those companies. So from SnapDocs, my total was 63 appointments. Signature closers was 9. Signing order was 22. And direct was 6. So all 6 of my direct clients was $100 or more. So that's great. That is great. What's going on, Corey? So you can see that it fluctuates. You're not going to get all $100 orders, not all 150 orders. So the numbers that came from SnapDocs, okay, and hold on, I should be able to show you that because they sent me a email. Okay, just so you can see. Hold on one second. All right. Here we go. So my July summary from SnapDocs. Okay, just so you can see. All right. So this is my July summary from SnapDocs. Okay. Now, this all this money don't come at one time. So it comes over a period of time, probably a month, month and a half, depending on how they do it. So y'all can see this is what I did. Okay. This is just showing you from, so you could get an idea. This comes out to $85 per order. Okay. You see the mileage driving some miles. That's just with them. So I'm pushing over 2,000 miles a month, and everything. So what that tells you is that, like in my area, the orders are about $85 a pop. Okay, $85 a pop. Now the question is, are you willing to do that type of work? Are you willing to work at $85 a pop? It's either yes or no. Now, the orders that I did for that was $33. That was the 33 that I did $100 or more. That came out to like 4,000, a little more than $4,000, which averaged about 120 bucks per order. Okay. I had a couple of $200 orders in there, or $200 or more, because I had to go a lot further distance. But typically, my orders from my direct clients are really $100 or more, are more around the 115 ish per order. So you can see how this works. You can make money here at the $100 or more, but if you want to make more money, you got to sort of take everything. If you don't take everything, you're not going to be left with a whole lot. So just so you can understand, so let's just say if I just did SnapDocs. On SnapDocs, the number, the what I did was for $100 or more, the 18 orders came out to $1,950. So if all you're doing is work from SnapDocs, yeah, babe. Yeah, it's downstairs. So from SnapDocs, $1,950 sounds good, but it might not pay your mortgage. Might pay your rent, maybe, might pay a car note, maybe, but 1950 ain't enough. Set signature closes, only one order was $100. From signing order, the 8 that I did came out to 1,015. Get what I'm saying? And then from the direct clients, 1150. All of that. So together it came out to 4215. But and feel free to ask any questions. I'm serious. Ask any questions about the numbers, this, that, or the other. The point is that if you don't go out here and work this business, you're not going to really make any kind of money. Now, if you can't go and do 100 signings a month, if you can't do 80 signings a month, I understand. Okay. Hold on. Oh no, never mind. I understand. I truly understand if you cannot do that amount, but you got to do something if you plan on making money. So my goal is to do at least, I'm trying to do 9 to 10 grand a month. Sometimes I'm close to it, sometimes I'm way off, but I got to start somewhere. And when I realized that 70% of the work that I'm doing, roughly 70% of the work that I'm doing is $100 or less, and I'm not in a position where I'm doing a whole bunch of apostilles, general notary work, and all of that, then what else am I going to do? Now, if you're in an area where you can do more apostilles and get higher fees, go for it. If you're not, then you got to do something if you plan on making that dollar amount go. So when I look at the numbers, I'm very pleased. I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm very, very pleased. But I realized that if I follow the traditional, the conventional, the conventional mindset that a lot of people are saying out here, I probably in my area I wouldn't make the money that I need to make. And that's the key thing that I'm trying to help y'all to understand is that you got to realize what can be done in your area and do it if you can to make the money that you need to make. So for me, it all adds up. And since I've been in this business, roughly 15% on average is what is $100 or more for me per month. It's not a whole, oh, that's the thing. It's not a whole lot. So with that being said, it's like, and I'll be honest, when I first got into it, I tried all of that stuff. They said, well, I ain't gonna do this unless it's this dollar amount, I won't making no money. But what I was seeing was 3 to 5 grand each month passing me by. So I said, do I want the 3 to 5 grand, or do I just want the little bit of $100 or more? And once I'd made up my mind that where I want my money, I want that money. I'm like, let me go knock it out and let me go do it. So I commend those who can actually do this business and average $200 a pop. There's nothing wrong with that. But the vast majority of us, and if you understand life and understand business and understand statistics, the average person is not going to be hitting $100,000 a year, and they're going to probably be in the middle range, which is going to be between 85 and maybe $95 per order. Not that you can't graduate to a higher fee, but you gotta be, hey, what's going on, Mark? Seeing you, good to see you there. But you gotta start somewhere. And this is the dilemma, the part that I'm trying to sort of wrap my head around, and I'm confused that so many people are willing to, like I was talking with my man Corey today, are willing to sacrifice for their job, but they're not willing to sacrifice for the business. They're willing to take a chance and start at a low area in their job, but they're like, I want to be at the top in my business, and I don't want to start at the bottom and work my way up. I want to be at the top and never go to the bottom. And I'm like, how do you do that? How can you start a business where you're here at the top making the maximum amount of money when you don't even know what's going on in the business? You don't understand the business, but you want to be at the top. That doesn't make sense. And we're talking ourselves or allowing others to talk ourselves into a mindset that isn't fruitful. That's the issue. So when I look at, I can bring this dollar amount in. Am I willing to work that amount? Yes, I am. So let me go make it happen. And that's the key thing. So now give me your questions, give me your comments or thoughts about this. Because the question still is simply this. If you knew you could make it on average, we'll just throw it up and say $90 a pop. If you knew you're going to get $90 on average, would you do X amount of appointments in order to get that? That's really what it boils down to. Would you do X amount of appointments at $90 a pop in order to get it? Because that's business. I have X amount of pencil holders that cost me X amount of dollars, that if I sell at this percentage markup, I can make this amount of money. So am I willing to sell? At first, I got to buy these at, say, 10 cents. I can sell them at 80. I can sell them at $1. And that means I can make this amount of money. So now am I willing to go out there and do what it takes, not just to buy them, but to sell them? So you are the product. And if you know you can probably get on average $90 a pop, are you willing to go out there and do it? And for some people, the answer is no. So then what are you willing to do, and at what price point? And then when you ask yourself, well, or tell yourself, well, I want to do it at this price point. Okay, Let's just say the price point is 125. Not a bad price point. So now the question becomes, how often am I going to see the 125? Where is the 125 going to come? And will that be 125 consistently every single month? If it is, cool. If it's not, then I got to figure some stuff out. You see what I'm saying? I really got to figure some stuff out if I'm planning on making a X amount of dollars. Because now you got to ask yourself, how much money am I trying to make per month, per week, per year, per day, however you want to lay it out? How much money are you actually trying to make? So if you're, and this here I can throw on the screen because I got my calculator up. So if you're trying to do $10,000 a month, and of course, divided by 90, meaning the $90, that's 111. The first question you have to ask yourself, one, am I willing to do it? And two, is there 111 appointments coming through each and every month, or at least close to it? If it is, and you're willing to work it, then there's no reason why you can't make that money. But if you're saying, I want 10,000, but I want, 125 a pop, not a problem. That's 80. So now the question is, are you willing to do 80 appointments? Can you do 80 appointments? Are you willing to do 80 appointments? And is that 80 appointments at 125 out there for you? This is how you understand and figure out the money side of the house. Now, if somebody knows something else, then please tell me right here and right now. Because all people are doing out there on Instagram, TikTok, and everywhere else is just throwing out a number of, hey, you can get $500 for doing this. You can get $200 for doing that. What's your monthly goal? What are you trying to bring in monthly? That's the question. And for people who's talking about, well, I want, $10,000 and I want to bring in, I want to get paid $250 a pop. Okay, cool. That means you're doing 40. There's nothing wrong with 40. The question is, does 40 of those exist at that dollar a point, price point? If it does, then you're in it all day long. If it doesn't, or is it seasonal at the wintertime or this time? Those are the things that you have to ask yourself. And that's how business is done, whether on our level or a bigger level of a Walmart, Kmart, whoever Mart. That's what you have to understand. Gas stations, how many gallons of gas can we sell at this price point? How many packs of cigarettes? How many bags of chips? How many sodas? How many donuts? The cost is this, and I want to bring in this dollar amount. So this is what I have to mark it up to be in order to bring that. So now I got to market my business and and advertise in order to get people to buy this amount of donuts for this price. That's how it's done. The problem is nobody wants to focus on that. They just want to throw out some arbitrary number of what they want to get every time they leave the house. And you can honestly get that dollar amount, but it may not be enough at the end of the month to pay your bills. Because that's the most important part. And if what you're doing isn't paying bills, now do me a favor, put a 1 in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't. And if you don't understand, tell me what you don't understand. So me, since I'm running my mouth, I understand what I'm saying. So if you understand what I'm saying concerning setting goals, figuring out the money, things of that nature, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't, put a 2 in the chat and also tell me what don't you understand. So now you have to ask yourself, I understand the numbers. The average is going to be between, let's just say right now, between $85 and $95. Got it. When I see orders, so even though well, here's the thing. I hear you, but my issue is I don't see a way to mark up prices prices are setting at. In this case, it's about the numbers. It's not about trying to get them to pay you more. It's about the numbers, because not that they couldn't pay you more, but we don't know what the terms and conditions are that's prohibiting them from paying more. In our situation, and if I'm wrong, somebody please correct me. It's sort of, to me, to start off in this business, it's about just getting the work done, because you don't have to stay at this level. You can increase. So you say, well, Griff, you said the average fee before the pandemic was about 85, and it's still about that much. Yeah, but I've increased in my ability to make more. I've increased in my ability to get more appointments. So before the pandemic, I was here with appointments. After now, I'm up here. So that's the thing. You have to find a way. What can you increase in? So just like your job pays you $18 an hour. Well, you need more money. That means you got to work more hours. You can't get more dollars out of them because they're like, we don't have any more dollars to give you for as um per hour pay. We can't take you from 18 to 22.50, but we can give you more hours to work. Now, of course, if you start working more hours, well, before the new tax thing, the big beautiful bill thing, you was hit pretty heavy on taxes, but tax. But now that you don't have that issue, guess what? You can go and work more hours, and a certain portion of that is actually tax free. Okay. So now the question is, okay, well, I can make more money, but not have to put out, or the company can say I can help them get more money, but I don't have to actually pay them more per hour, because I can always tell them overtime is cut. All right, overtime season, no overtime. Overtime, no overtime. But to pay somebody from 18 to 22.50 when we're struggling, and we may not have the money really to pay you 22.50, and we can't legitimately, without having a problem, cut you back from 22.50 back down to 18. Nah, I'd rather pay you more in hours, and I can always cut those hours. That's the thing. You see what I'm saying? So figuring out the average fee is then getting the appointments to make your monthly goals is. So, right, figuring out the average fee, then getting the appointments to make what your monthly goal is. That is correct. So once you start seeing, and that's how I figured out how to go full time in this business. For me, I was like, I saw that the average fee was 80. I was thinking about just doing $6,000 a month before all this pandemic stuff happened, before all the inflation happened. And I was like, I need to do about 70 or so, 70, 72 appointments a month at $85. I'll be good. It's worse now. I got, for as the economy and all that, I got to do much more. And then the first question I ask, am I willing to do much more? And is much more available for me to do? The answer for me is yes. And this is what you have to figure out for you. So in this case, it's not so much about trying to get people to just like, well, you need to pay me more. I rather have more opportunity at 85 than you paying me more at 125 or 150. Because again, in this case, unlike in a job, they paid you 150 to get something done when they really can only afford 85. Well, guess what? Next go round, it's going to be 85. Because as a business, you can set the price how you want. And there's nothing that says you can't. There's no federal labor laws, because this is not an employment. This is independent contractors working with each other. So yeah, I paid you 185 that time, or 125, but guess what? Nah, that was over our budget. That was too much, and it's not happening again. So we're gonna have to pay you 85. You either do it or you don't. It's that simple. And people are trying to make this be like a job where you think you got leverage and you can make them. Nah, they're only going to pay you more if they're desperate in that moment. But next week or tomorrow, they may not be as desperate. So if they have contingencies to pay a desperation fee, when the desperation is gone, they're going to go back to the normal way of paying people. Hey, what's going on now, Zan? Good to see you. So that's the thing. So once I started understanding that, I was like, okay, so what my goal is this, I try to do 18 to 23 a week. That's what my goal is. 18 closings to 20, well, 18 appointments to 23 appointments per week of any type. I'm good. I had one today for my chiropractor doing notary work for him. So I'm actually at 16 appointments that I've done this week. And that was a quick 30 bucks. I only charge him travel because he's right around the corner from me. So I just charged him for the notarization, $10 a pop. It was three of them. We were good to go. I'll deposit that check tomorrow morning. Yeah, I'll deposit that tomorrow morning. So that's the thing. So now the question is, and if you feel like doing it, Phil, what would on a weekly basis, just to start off, on a weekly basis, whether you full time or part time, just type in the chat what you feel, what range of the number of orders you would like to do weekly. Okay. Don't look too deep into it. Just throw a number out there. You know what your notary business status is. And this is a point where there's apostille, general, whatever. Put down the range of orders you want. Okay. So now I'm seeing 25. That's a good number. 20, 25, 25. Okay. So from there, you have to ask yourself over the last, say, month, and depending on, and if you haven't deleted the text messages off your phone, which I hardly ever do, maybe once a year I delete them all. You look at your phone and then pick a week. So look at the week and say, okay, from this date to that date of this week, how many text message notifications did I receive? That's how you have to start off. So I want to do this, but how many text message notifications did I get for a week? So that, and some people, y'all delete y'all every single thing off, but if you haven't deleted them, then you look and say, okay, so like looking at the for last month, um, so we'll just the first week was short. So the first through the fifth, if you still got them on your text message, how many orders? And sometimes it can come from different phone numbers. How many did I go? Okay, I got this many notifications. Now you have to ask yourself, out of those notifications that came in, now you probably haven't kept track, and I don't keep track, but how many did you actually respond to? So if you saw, let's just say 55 notifications, but you didn't respond to at least 40, because remember, everything's a numbers game. To get 20, you need to apply for 40. So you got to go double the amount and maybe triple. So it depends on, so in other words, how many did you think you legitimately respond to saying I'm available? Now, of course, right now, this is where people say, well, Griff, I'm responding and I'm not getting selected. That goes back to how you're communicating to them. One of the things that you can do when you get orders from Signing Order or SnapDocs, if they show you the company's contact information, what you can simply do is this. Make sure that's not an order. What you can simply do, okay, because I got to do my thing at 9. What you simply, okay, got it. The appointment was booked. What you simply can do is this: reach out to them after the workday is over, say 6, 7 o'clock. This I'm just throwing this out there. I've never done this, but this is what I would do if I needed to get with them, on me understanding now how busy they are during the work hours and to a point after the work hours. You send them an email and say, hey, I just wanted to, thank you for including me in your text message notification. And if you have the order information, say for this order, such and such, and I understand, and I didn't get selected this time, but please, can you please, how to put it? I hate saying that I'm new, but you can just say, can you please share with me anything that I need to add to my resume that you're looking for, something to that effect. I hate sounding desperate. I don't ever like sounding desperate and like I'm begging. But somehow, and you can figure it out, use Chat GTP or whatever, but basically somehow communicate to them that, hey, I want to thank you for taking time out to respond to me or to send me or include me in your email notification for some orders today or an order or however many orders. And I'm looking forward to an opportunity to work with y'all to complete these orders for you and your clients. If you want to attach your signing order or resume, just boom, do so and say if there's anything that you feel that I need to enhance or that's missing for as my experience that I may have not included, please let me know. Try something, okay? Try something. I wouldn't badger them and call them and be like, hey, I just hit the button for that order. Well, I need you to give that to me. I wouldn't do that because they're in the middle of busy trying to assign it or they've already assigned it. And then you're calling them saying, stop what you're doing and now give it to me right now. That's not going to go over well. You see what I'm saying? That's not going to go over well. I responded to 8 yesterday and only got 2 with every no, you're there. You're much closer to a yes. Today I got 2 of 2. Bingo. It's a numbers game. And the problem is that somebody does not, or some people don't like playing the numbers game. They don't like playing the numbers game. They want absolutes, like a job. I get up, I go in at 8, I get off at 4. I go in and get off at 8, I get off at 4. I got Saturday, Sundays off, and I get in at 8, get off at 4. 8 to 4. They want that. They want solidness. And unfortunately, as a business owner, there's a lot of fluidity to this. And if you can handle the fluidity, oh my goodness, you will expand and grow. Um, One last thing here. And me and my man Corey was talking about this today, and I've talked to other people about this. When you're dealing with this business, one of the things that you have to understand, one of the things that you have to understand is simply this. You have to be able to deal with multiple appointment requirements from multiple different companies. So you have to know that if you have an order and it might be from Villa Title on SnapDocs, then you may get one from Simple Signings on Signing Order. You may get one from Client First on Signature Closers. All 3 of those will have different ways to do the documents, different ways to execute the documents, to do the documents from the standpoint. Some may want them printed on all letters, some may want it printed all legal, some may want it mixed pages printed. Then you have some that say, okay, um, keep the documents in the same order that they are. All of that. So you got to be able to deal with 3 different people telling you to do, let's just say refinance, 3 refinances 3 different ways. Most people don't like that. Most people don't like that that variation. They want it to be, just tell me this is a refi. I want to do all of them the same way. But 2 of them might be VA refis, and one of them might be a conventional refi. One of the VA refis might be a Navy Federal. It can be done differently. So if you can't handle dealing with multiple different appointment requirements, you are going to struggle. Whether you're getting paid $200 or $20, you are not going to be able to deal with it because mentally you don't want to deal with that. The moment you say, I don't want to deal with that kind of stuff, it's over. It's over. You're not going to do it because in your heart of hearts, you don't want to do it. So when I'm doing 7 closings in a day, I'm not doing them all from the same company. I might have 2 from the same company. One weekend, I had 3 from Universal Notary that's on SnapDocs. 3. And 2 of the 3 was exactly the same flow. The third one was a little different. Then if you get buyer, seller, home equity line of credit, or HELOC, those 3 are going to be totally different with the way they flow and the way you do them. So you have to be able to just pull yourself together and be like, okay, HELOC from this company, they want it done like this. HELOC from that company, they want it done this way. Refi from this company, they want it done like that. Purchase, sell, reverse mortgage, dot, dot, dot. Whatever comes your way. Then it's like refi from that company, but then a refi from the same company that's a hybrid. So it's less pages. You got to be willing to deal with all of that. Oh, this refinance, they don't have the promissory note in it. Why? Because they had them e-sign the promissory note because they're okay with doing that. Whereas another company may have a hybrid, but the promissory note is in there. It's different things. Don't include the IDs. Include the IDs. 2 sets of ID, 1 set of ID. All of these variables, and if you're not able to handle it, if it frustrates you, this is not the business for you. So it doesn't matter what your goals are. This ain't the business for you if you can't get your mind wrapped around all of that. So it says, Griff, your dedication, motivation is amazing. Your work ethic shows how to be successful regardless of how much the signing fee is. That is correct. Thank you, Corey. That is correct. You have to do that. And this isn't something that anybody taught me. This isn't something that I paid a course for. This is just me one day sitting down. I don't know. Hold up. Let me see. It was one day. Let me see. It was one day. Oh man, I gotta see if I can show y'all the picture. It was. This is what it reminds me of. I don't know if hopefully I can show y'all. I was trying to get this to come larger, but it won't show up. But this is what it reminds me of. The men will probably understand it. That picture of Conan the Barbarian, where he's sitting there thinking and contemplating his next move. And one day, that's what I did. I just sort of sat still and I said, I need to think and ponder about what my next move is going to be. And I literally sort of sat there as a kid. I remember that image so vividly. And I sort of sat probably in my car because I'm always in the car. And I sat there contemplating how to make this work. And then I started realizing, okay, what is it that we are supposed to do? What am I definitively and I have to do? I got to get these documents signed, dated, and initialed. And then I got to do proper notarization. Do I actually understand how to properly notarize a document? The answer was, I know how to do it if it's from Virginia, but what about other states? Oh, I just follow Virginia's guidelines. Don't worry about the other states because I'm not their notary. So now, yes, I know how to properly notarize. Now I need to communicate that to the people who hire notaries. What's the best way to do that? All before Chat GTP. Let me give them what they are looking for. They want to know that that I understand how to do my job as a notary. So let me communicate that in writing. That's how I got started. And then I just focused on that. And then when they came and said, "Hey, do you mind? I know it's gonna be a little late, 8 o'clock at night. No problem. I do it. I got you." There was no complaining. There was no, "Hey, wait, you need to pay me more." Just real quick, I had a 4-hour closing yesterday. It was all wild. It was all messed up. The real estate agent was there. He kept asking me, "You all right, man?" I said, "No, I'm good." I said, "I'm good." And I just sat there and stood for 4 hours because they had no furniture, nothing to sit on. And I waited till they got all of their conflict resolved because somebody took the appliances. They had to bring the appliances back, and they weren't signing anything until everything was back in accordance with what the contract said. I was like, okay. And I stayed there for the full 4. I started a little bit before 8. I didn't get home till almost midnight or after midnight. And not one time did I complain or any of that because I understood that a problem that they have out here in this business is that when things get tough, notaries will walk off unjustified. You say, well, you just walk. What I dealt with was a little different. I would say when things get tough in a non threatening way. Okay. When things get tough in a non threatening way, notaries walk off, meaning, oh, they're late. I'm out. Oh, we got to print documents again. I'm out. Oh, somebody got a couple of questions. I'm out. I don't do that. I don't do that. I will call the other companies, let them know, hey, we got this problem. Dot dot dot. Are y'all cool with me? I can't leave because of this, that, and the other. They like, yeah, no problem. Call the customer. Hey, they like, no problem. Or if we have to get another notary, we will. As long as there's nothing threatening, as long as there's nothing disrespectful, I will stay there with you all day, all night. End of story. It's not too many notaries that'll do that. If you're not willing to do that, it's okay. But sometimes you have to. And that was a situation last night where it was like, I need to be there. I need to stay there throughout the whole thing and see this through because they got a lot of problems here and I can make it happen. And once we got to signing, it took less than 20 minutes to do the sign. The man at 11:15, we were signing documents. He was not worried about reading anything, looking at anything. He just wanted to put his signature and date on every single document, and that's what we did. And we got done in about 20 minutes. So I sat there for 4 hours just to get 20 minutes of work in. Now, what do you think that did for that gentleman? What do you think that said to the real estate agent when they compare me to anybody else that's out here? Because the next notary that real estate agent comes across and they don't put in the same dedication that I did, who you think they'd be like, you know what, you can go on and leave. Let me call Griff. Let me call Griff because I know he won't quit on me. I know he won't quit. So that's why I was saying I'd rather have consistent $85 signing. My $85 appointments will beat your $200 appointments any day of the week because my stuff is consistent. Now, unless your stuff is consistent, meaning you're getting it on a regular basis to meet your appointment schedule, then yes, you win. But if you getting it every now and then, every happen chance, but I'm every single day have the ability to, I'm like, okay, yeah, 85, 85, 85, 85. You can you're never going to outwork me because I'm gonna be the one out there working while you are sitting around hoping and wishing and praying that you would get some kind of orders. So like this upcoming week, tomorrow, I got 70 this week alone, 75, 90, 85, 90, 100, 100, 125. That's what I got right now. So what does that come out to? 75 plus 90 plus 85 plus 90 plus 100 plus 100 plus 125. That's 665, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Divided by 7. That's $95. That's $95. All right. Let me show y'all on screen. This last one here, this $80 one, that's a canceled order. So that's why I say the fee is between 95 and 85 in my area. I have to say it that way, my area. 665. If you looked at it for what the 75, that's nasty. But if you did all of this on an average of 95, you got 665. What pays more bills, 665 or zero? That's the question. And if you can get 7 orders at that dollar amount at 200, then you're good. But if you can't, then you got to do something. You got to find a way to make the money that you need to make. And then lastly, most people out here in this business have not set any goals for monthly income. They brag about it after the fact. Oh yeah, I made this dollar amount. Well, was that your goal? Uh, uh, most people in this business don't have a goal. The only goal, if they do have a goal, is to get a certain dollar amount per order, not what they're trying to bring in each month. Because it's too fluid, it fluctuates too much. So to say I want $8,000, but you don't have $200 worth of orders coming in enough to equal the 8,000, it's just best to stick with the low hanging fruit. Okay, let me just deal with $200 a pop. And then you can brag in your Facebook group, I made $200 a pop. Okay, you made $200 a pop this month. Did you make your $10,000 goal or your $8,000 goal? And 99% of the time, I'm telling you, they will not have a goal. They will not legitimately have a goal. Because that to have that kind of goal, it exposes you too much. How many are you trying to do a week? That exposes you too much. Because now you can't be saying no, because here come third, you get tomorrow's Wednesday, and then it's like, well, Wednesday, how many have you done this week? Well, I mean, I've seen a lot. Okay, well then did you try to get any? Nah, why not? Well, this ain't my dollar amount. See, it goes all the way back to the dollar amount for the individual order. But when you add up, if I if I responded to those appointments and got, let's just say 20% of them, or let's just say I did the first 18 or 20 that I wanted to do for this week, how much money would that be? So now the question is, what's more important? I can, if I knock out, if I get selected for the first, for the 20 that I want out of the 45 that I'm seeing, and the 20 that I want is actually $700. Let's just say if it's on the low end, or 1,500 or 1,800 or 2,000. It's like, oh man, who knows? But you got to at least try. And if you're not willing to try, you get what I'm saying? So it all depends on you, your business flow, all of that. Let me hop off because I got to hop on and do my one-on-one tonight. Thank you. Yep, getting ready to do them. And then I see you, Miss Bonilla. Hope I said it right. Got you on the 7th. We're going to chop it up at 10 p.m. and get you all taken care of. Links in the description. Thank y'all very, very much. I greatly appreciate y'all. If you came in late, just go back and look at the beginning. Hit the like button on your way out if you haven't already hit the like button. And thank y'all very much. Y'all have a good evening. Talk to y'all later. Peace.